Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about the introduction to microeconomics, chapter 1 of class 12 Cbse economics. So you can see in my hand it is the NCERT's original textbook. So I am going to explain every concept through this textbook only. So if you need to if you need to get this original material, you need to refer to NCERT textbooks. So friends, this is a first part. This is just you need to read here. Next comes what are the central economic problems of an economy. So every society has to face scarcity of resources, and it's a scarcity of resources that give rise to the production problem of choice. So every society has scarcity of resources, and the scarcity of resources give rise to the problem of choice. When there is scarcity of resources, it give rise to the problem of choice. So there will be less choices. If there is more resources are present, then there will be more choices, and it is in a direct proportion. If there is more resources equal to more choice, that is directly proportional. If there is an increase in the number of resources, the number of choices which will automatically increase. And what are the central economic problems? There are 4 central economic problems, which are what is produced and in what quantities, which is the first problem, and how are these goods produced, which is the second problem, and for whom are these goods produced, which are the third problem, and for what purpose they are produced, that is the fourth problem. So what is produced and in what quantity? So every society must decide on how much of each of many possible goods and services will it produce, and it is a duty of society to check whether how many goods are to be produced according to its need and demand, whether it may be luxury goods or necessary goods, and how are these goods produced. Every society had to decide on how much of which of the resources to use in production of each of the different goods and services. So they also had to decide on which all resources are to be used in the production of different goods, different combination of resources which have to be used, and for whom are these goods produced, whether it is for the middle class, upper class, or different classes of society are there, whether it is rich people, poor people, or the middle class. Every economy faces a problem of allocating the resources, scarce resources, to the production of different possible goods and services, and of distributing the produced goods and services among the individuals within the economy. So that is the part in the third. For whom are these goods produced? The organization of so in this diagram here you can see what is production possibility frontier. So the production possibility frontier is the combination of resources which are that are produced, that can be produced, that is a combination of products that can be produced when the resources of the economy are fully utilized. That is known as the production possibility frontier. So production possibility frontier is a combination of different products that can be produced when the resources of the economy are fully utilized. When there is always, so next is what is opportunity cost. There is always a cost of having little more of one good in terms of the amount of another good has to be forgone. This is known as the opportunity cost of an additional unit of good. So this is the opportunity cost of the additional unit of good. So what is opportunity cost? There is always a cost of having a little more of one good in term of amount of other good that has to be forgone. This is known as opportunity cost. So next comes organization of economic activities. So the centrally planned economy. So what is a centrally planned economy? In a centrally planned economy, all important decisions regarding production, exchange and consumption of goods and services are made by the government. So the central authority for all these decisions regarding production, exchange and consumption of goods and services are made by the government in the society. Then comes the market economy. In this institution, which organizes the free interaction of individual pursuing their respective economic activities. In other words, a market economy is a set of arrangement where economic agents freely exchange their endowments or products with each other, and there is no intervention of government in their decision making. In a market system, all goods or services come with a price which is mutually agreed upon by the buyers and sellers, and at which the exchange takes place. The price reflects on an average society's valuation of goods or service in question. If a buyer demands more of a certain good, the price of that good will rise. If this signals to the producers of that good that the society as a whole wants more of that good than is currently being produced, and the producers of the good in turn are likely to increase their production. In this way, price of goods and services send important information to all individuals across the market and help achieve coordination in a market system. In reality, all economies are mixed economies where some important decisions are taken by the government and economic activities are by and largely conducted through the market. Example, in United States of America, the role of government is minimal, whereas in centrally closed example of centrally planned economy is China. So you can note that examples of USA and China. And next is the positive and negative economies. Often a distinction is made between positive economic analysis and normative economic analysis, depending on whether we are trying to figure out how a particular mechanism functions or we are trying to evaluate it. In a positive economic analysis, we analyze how different mechanisms function, and in normative economics, we try to analyze economic analysis. We try to normative economics depends on whether we are trying to figure out how a particular mechanism functions or we are trying to evaluate it. Normative, we try to understand whether these mechanisms are desirable or not. So in a positive economic analysis, we study how different mechanisms functions, and in normative economics, we try to understand whether these mechanisms are desirable, whether it is required in a particular circumstances or not. Then comes a distinction between microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics, we study the behavior of individual economic agents in the market for different goods and services, and try to figure out behavior of individual agents, and try to figure out how price and quantities of goods and services are determined through the interaction of individuals in these markets. So the interaction of price and quantity of goods and services are determined through the interaction of individuals in this market. It is through the process of microeconomics we analyze behavior of individual economic agents in the market for different goods. Through the process of price and quantity, we are analyzing it. In macroeconomics, we try to understand the economy as a whole. So we are analyzing the economy whole by focusing on our attention on aggregate measures such as our total output, employment, aggregate price level, and here we are finding out how the level of aggregate measures are determined and how the level of these aggregate measures change over time. So here aggregate, we are taking all aggregate measures because it is we are taking the economy as a whole, and level of this we are taking into consideration the change or in these aggregate measures over time. So friends, this is the end of the chapter. Hope you found this video helpful. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.